Oh, hello everybody. It's Melanie from Mel's Inky Fingers. Happy Friday and welcome. I am just adjusting this a little bit here. Sorry about that. So hello and welcome. I hope you all had a great week. I'm going to give everyone just a couple of minutes to find me here because I know I am jumping on a little bit late, and we'll see how long it takes Facebook to roll today. There we go. So it looks like you can hear me and see me. So sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, hello and welcome. So I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to find me. Today we are working with the absolutely adorable Cheers and Sips stamp and die bundle. This is so cute. It's part of a suite called Celebratory Sips that's coming in the new catalog next week on May 6th. I can't wait. I think that's Tuesday, right? And it's also the May feature for Creatively Inked, and I'm giving you some additional project ideas today. If you are a Creatively Inked subscriber, you have some extra projects that you'll be able to make. So cute. And I think you're going to like it today. Plus, I have some fun little tips to share with you that you can actually use for any of your bundles that have outline stamps. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on. I want to give everyone just a chance to find me here. Since I'm a little late, you may have already popped in looking for me and I wasn't here, so I apologize. So when you hop on, say hello and let me know you're here. It's always nice to know who I get to spend some time with on Friday afternoon. This is one of the highlights of my week. I hope you realize how much I enjoy spending a little bit of time with you on Friday afternoon. Now, my setup is kind of goofed up because I had a class last night and I forgot to adjust. So if I miss a comment and you ask a question, please just post it again if you're not hearing from me, and I'm always happy to answer. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of my announcements before we jump in. So just a reminder that YouTube deletes these videos after 30 days now. So in order to help me provide content for you to view, to learn from, and to get ideas, I bring everything over to YouTube and upload it there. But in order to do that and open up more functionality, I need you to subscribe to me over there. So go to youtube.com. Search for Mel's Inky Fingers and click that subscribe button so that you can see anything that I post over there and allow me to help you with new ideas and fun ways to use your products. All right. This is brand new and hot off the presses. On Tuesday, Stampin' Up! Let us know that today and tomorrow, as a way to celebrate World Scrapbooking Day, they are offering 2 times the rewards, the Stampin' Rewards on any orders placed today and tomorrow only. Now, even though this is to celebrate World Scrapbooking Day, you don't have to order scrapbooking products. You can order anything you want. You can order inks, envelopes, scrapbooking kits, designer series paper, cardstock, whatever, anything you would like. Now, Stampin' Up! Transitioned to a new reward system on April 15th. So in case you had not yet heard, now moving forward on any order over $20, you earn rewards, which is so awesome because it used to be until you hit $150, you didn't earn any rewards. So now you earn 10% on any order of at least $20 that will go into your rewards bank, and then it's available for any future order. Now you can choose to let your bank grow and then use it for a big item, or you can choose to spend them as you earn them. Any order where you earn rewards, they're applied to your next order or your future orders. You don't apply them to the order where you earn them. But instead of earning the 10% for today and tomorrow, you're earning 20%. That's amazing. So you can stock up on some basics now and maybe some last chance deals, and then you can use those rewards to shop next week when the new catalog launches. All right, so go to melsinkyfingers.com/shop and you'll be able to get in my online store and see what the latest deals are that you can take advantage of. All right. Just a reminder that the clock is ticking and time is winding down to reserve your product share for the upcoming annual catalog. Now, with every catalog, I offer product shares for a limited period of time where you can get a portion of all the new pattern papers, ribbons, embellishments, and other items at a fraction of the cost, because I package up just a portion of each thing, make it nice, label it for you so that you know what it is, and then I send it off to you to enjoy. So you can choose a paper share, which includes the new papers. There's a lot of carryover papers this time, but we're doing just the new papers, as well as any recent online exclusive releases that you may not have even noticed. They're amazing papers over there. You can choose a ribbon and embellishment share. You can choose the 6x6 color assortments, which I only offer with the annual catalog because we release the color families in color assortments per family, but every year it's new patterns. This year they are awesome. I can't wait. And then you have your mix and match, which is your ephemera packs and your awesome patterned, printed and textured card bases and envelopes. Then, of course, there's my paper samplers, which are incredibly popular as a reference tool. Don't confuse the paper samplers as paper that you take and craft with to the paper share. So the paper samplers are bound. Each collection is bound, and they're designed to be a reference tool. Now, when you're done with the reference tool, you can take them apart and use the paper. The paper is cut big enough to use as a layer on a project, but they're designed to be a reference tool. If you want paper to actually cut up and use on projects, you want the paper share, all right? And then as always, I offer a gift with the I Want It All, or what I call the Ready to Craft bundle. I'm also offering a gift this time with any reservation that's at least $100, since it can be a combination of different things. And I want to thank you. So when your reservation is at least $100, you're going to receive a full pack of the White and Misty Moonlight 1/4 inch ribbon. That's a new item in here. All right. So May 5th, I extended it one more day. May 5th is the last day to reserve your shares. All right. Don't forget about my in-person virtual album retreat that's going to take place July 18th through the 20th. You can attend 1, 2, or all 3 days. When you order the kit, which is going to be created by Stampin' Up! To complete 24 scrapbook pages, it's going to be amazing. It's designed to create an album for a whole year of documenting memories. Everything is pre-cut for you, so you don't even have to cut your layers. It's done for you. Exclusive stamp sets, your page protectors, your page bases, all your cut layers, your photo mats so that you can reserve this space on your page, so when you have your pictures ready, you can just put them right down. You know what size to even make them. Ribbon, embellishments, everything. So when you order that kit from Stampin' Up!, I am gifting you an in-person event, which is going to include snacks, a meal on Saturday, table treats every day, prizes every day. We are going to have a blast. It's going to be a small event. I only have 10 spots, and they're reserved for those who get the kit from me so that we can scrapbook together. You also get videos teaching you interactive elements on all of your pages, so you will learn and can carry those into your albums going forward. We're going to have a blast. So you can reserve your space now for $10, and then the kit will become available on May 28th, which you will order through me directly in my online store. All right, so reserve your spot so that you can make sure you are able to join us. And last but not least, before we create, I have my In Color Club posted. There has been an update. If you hadn't heard, we were having some color issues with the cloud cover ink. It was reacting with the foam pad that's the base of our ink pads. So sadly, we will not have a cloud cover ink pad. However, we have a felt option where the ink color is not changing, and that's our little spot. So I've changed out the cloud cover ink pad for a spot. The remaining cloud cover items are going to be available, so you will be able to ink this with your ink refill, which will be included in the In Color kit, and still have access to that ink color as well as the markers, the Stampin' Blends, and all the other accessories. So here's what you're going to get. Each month, you're going to get an ink pad. Other than the cloud cover month, you'll get an ink spot. You'll get the ink refill, a stamp and write marker, a set of blends. You're going to get card bases and envelopes. You're going to get cut cardstock to use as layers. You're going to receive designer series paper, a spool of ribbon, a custom color coach from me. These are the beautiful colors you'll get. A hand stamped card every month. And to give you an idea, this is 1 year of the in colors. These are the projects that you receive. They're super cute. You get the color of the feature color of the month. Each month is a color. And then the month of cloud cover, because there was a little price difference with the ink compared to the ink spot, you're going to get your ink spot, and then you're going to get some of the Florals and Bloom Designer Series paper, which features the in colors. So you'll have patterned paper, plus you'll have the Designer Series paper from the color stacks, your inks, markers, everything. I'm gifting you something special on the last month. I'm also gifting you a special exclusive class in your 5th kit that will be using your supplies, and you'll get the little project kits included with your last month's kit so that we can get together and do some creating together. So all of this, $58 a month. It's going to be an amazing kit. And when you subscribe, you are committing to all 5 months, because I have to kind of get things bundled for you. And you will automatically be billed when you go to PayPal and subscribe. You'll be billed all 5 months, and then it'll automatically stop. So you won't have to worry about going in and canceling that. So your payments will go in on the day you subscribe, but are due by the 30th of the month for all 5 months. And your kits will come June through October. So if you're interested, you can subscribe. And I'll have a video that will go up with that in detail. Right now, I can't get all the items. So when I show you things, they're just the items, but not necessarily the colors. All right. So let's jump into today's crafting. We're going to use the adorable Cheers. And oh, hey, Julie, how are you? It's nice to have you. We're going to use the adorable Cheers and Sips bundle. This is adorable. Today, I'm going to feature the adorable glasses, but don't forget there's flowers and fruits in here. This bundle is far more versatile than you might think. So we're going to make these 2 adorable projects today, and you're going to love them. They're so cute, and I'm going to show you a really amazing little hack for coloring your line art images. Now, this bundle is part of a project suite, which includes super cute designer series paper, beautiful ribbon. It is this gold sheer striped ribbon. It's beautiful. Look at that. And these awesome resin dots. So pretty. And this beautiful set of embossing folders called Glass and Gardens embossing folders. And these are the smaller ones that fit in your mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. I love that. So it's really pretty sweet. It's part of our new catalog, and it is the feature for this month's Creatively Inked kit. So in this month's kit, this is a sneak of the projects, and I actually have them here. So here's what you're going to make. You're going to have 4 cards plus a little non-card item. It's super cute. You get all the supplies to create those projects, and you will receive this card already completed in your kit. And you'll have a tutorial included, as well as the written instructions. So if you want to create this on your own, you can. And we're actually going to make it together today as well. So let's get started. So let's start by making this really cute little note card set. So very simple. These use the basic white note cards and envelopes. They come 10 note cards and 10 envelopes to a pack. They make the cutest little gifts. super easy to just stamp and add a little something to them. So today we're going to make 3 really easy cards. I'm going to show you a hack for coloring in your images. And we're just going to put this simple little belly band on it with the ribbon. It just is easy. You can add a little label to the front of it if you want, but I thought it was cute because you have just a little color there. You have the little cheers here. So I thought it was just a cute way to gift something which is inexpensive and super fun to make. So to make these, we're going to use a ton of colors. You can use what you have on hand because you're going to want to customize these however you want. And we're going to use some of the designer series paper to decorate our flaps. And I pulled the paper that matches the belly band. Is this cute? Do you like this? Tell me what you think. I love them. I think they're so cute. Okay, so let's get started. So you're going to want 3 of your basic white note cards in envelopes, and you're going to fold and burnish these and just set them aside. All right. When you jump on, say hello. Let me know you're here. I see that we have some visitors, but I'm not sure who you are. It would be nice to know who's here so that I can say hello to you. All right, so we're just going to fold these along the score line, and I'm just going to burnish these well so that they're nice and flat and easy to work with. And then the envelopes for now, we can just set aside. We're going to decorate those flaps when we're done, okay? So we are going to stamp everything in Secret C. Secret C is one of our new in colors. I absolutely love it. If I had to describe the color, I would call it a smoky navy gray. That's how I would describe it. It is a dark gray with a blue hue. It's amazing. I have been using it to stamp in place of black because it's just a little softer. It is probably my favorite of all the new in colors, although I have to say, cloud cover is too. So we'll see when I can use cloud cover a little more, when I can actually get my hands on it, then we'll see. But I think this is my favorite. Hey, Tracy. Oh, I'm glad you're here. It's fun to have you here. Okay, so we're going to use Secret C to do most of our stamping. And then look what I have. I have just grabbed a variety of inks. You can use what you have on hand. All right, use what you have on hand. I grabbed a whole bunch of Stampin' Blends. Okay, and again, use what you have on hand. Okay, so you can substitute something. If I use purple and you don't have it and want to use pink, it is perfect. It will be just as cute. And then I have a variety of my blending brushes to use with my inks that I chose. Now, I don't have a blending brush for every color. I have a blending brush for color families. So like you can see I have greens, reds, pinks, okay? You can choose to have one for every color if you want. Now, when you get your stamp set, your stamps come on a cellophane sheet and then a heavy cellophane backer. I peel that cellophane sheet off and throw it away. But I keep this backer when you get this, and I'm going to show you a trick that we're going to use for coloring in our images. Let me show you. So I took the sheet that the stamps came with, and I cut it in half. Let me move this out of the way. I cut it in half, and then on each half, I die cut the glasses. So in your die set, you have a tall glass and a like a highball glass, okay? I put these through my Stampin' Cut and emboss machine, and I don't know if you can see these very well, but I cut the glasses, oop, don't lose them. I cut the glasses out. So I've made a template for a tall glass and a template for the small glass, but you want to also keep not only the negative images, you want to keep these glasses because I'm going to show you how you're going to use both pieces to color these fun and easy little note cards. All right? Okay. So let me open this up and show you what we're going to make. So our little belly band is very simple. Piece of designer series paper with ribbon on it. But here's our little margarita, a little cocktail, and a Bloody Mary. Are those not the absolute cutest? So simple. Sometimes I love simple note cards. Now, all the stamping other than the little garnish is done right on the front of the note card, all right? And then at the end, we decorated up those little flaps. So let's start by making the little margarita, all right? So we're going to make this by, since we're using the little highball glass twice, I'm going to pull out 2 note cards and do a couple of the steps at the same time, all right? So first thing I'm going to do is I never like to have my images floating. I always like to ground them. So I'm going to use the actual glass, not the negative, the actual glass, to create my shadow with a little bit of gray granite ink. You could also use smoky slate. You could use any color you want. And you can position it how you want depending on what you're going to include on your note card. So I'm going to put mine kind of in the middle. I'm going to just bring in a little bit of ink, push it into my brush. I want it really light. I'm going to hold this. You could also tape it in place with some washi if you wanted. And I'm going to just make a little shadow underneath the glass, okay? And when you move it, you can see there's a little shadow there, all right? It's a little darker than I meant. It always looks like there's not much color on it, and then when you pick up your stencil, you're like, oh, I guess there was color. So you don't need much, just a little, all right? So there's my shadow created for my glass. So you keep these, and that's why, all right? So now we are going to take our stamp, and I'm going to stamp the glass in my new Secret Sea ink that I absolutely love, love, love. And I'm going to stamp it kind of in that space that I created by blending around that die cut image. And then I'm going to show you my coloring hack. So now you're going to bring in what you created by die cutting the sheet that the stamp came on or a piece of window sheet. And you're going to lay this over your stamped image and you're going to color in your glass. So you can choose whatever color you want to create your little mocktail or cocktail, whatever you're choosing. So I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap paper here, just so that I can pull the extra ink off my green brush because I don't want it to be olivey at all. I want to make sure that I get that nice bright green. And since I use a greens brush, I'm just going to kind of push some of this in. I think that'll be good. I do not clean my brushes. I love having them really inky. I think it gives you a smoother finish when you blend. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to set that one aside. We're going to use this first one here, and I'm going to create my little green cocktail that I'm going to call my margarita. And I'm just going to blend my green ink. And how fun is that? Isn't that cute? And then you can clean it. I'm just using my Stampin' Chamois to wipe that ink off. You could use a damp paper towel, your choice. Now for the second one, I'm going to create a little Bloody Mary, and I want that tomatoey color. So I'm going to use a combination of color. So I'm going to come in with my red brush. I'm just going to pull a little bit of the ink off here. And I'm going to do a combination of Cajun Craze and Poppy. All right, so you can either mix the colors or blend one on top of the other. It's your choice. I'm going to choose to add some red and just a touch, blend it all together so that it looks like tomato juice. And now I'm going to put my little stencil down and create my little Bloody Mary. So there's my Bloody Mary. Isn't that cute? So now you have two different colored drinks to work with, and you can garnish them however you want with all the little garnish elements that are included in the stamp set. So let me just clean this since I have lots of white things here. I just don't want to get ink where I don't want it. Now this is wiped clean and it's all ready to go again. How fun is that? So fun, so fun. Okay, so let's put this away. Okay, so now we can work in some of the little garnishes that are part of the stamp set. So let's pull this back in. We have all these cute little fruits and some vegetables. So let's start with the little Bloody Mary. And we are going to add an olive and a little celery sprig. So I have my little celery stamp here, and I'm going to stamp right on my note card front for the celery, and then I'm going to color it. And then I'm going to stamp and color a little olive. So I have a scrap of basic white cardstock here. So I'm just going to stamp my olive in the Secret Sea ink, and then I'm going to color that. So let's pour in some of our blends. So I have Poppy, which will make a really cute pimento. So I'm just going to color the pimento first. And then I'm going to use my old olive. So here is, nope, here it is. Here is my light old olive, and I'm just going to color this little olive. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just coloring it in. I'm not layering. I'm not, well, now that I say that, it would be really cute with a little shadow down here, wouldn't it? Ah, so cute. All right. And then we're going to die cut this. We're going to set that aside for a minute. And now we're going to color our, I'm just going to move these out of the way. Now we're going to color our celery. So celery is kind of bright. So I have my light lemon lime twist, and then maybe I'll add a little bit of granny apple green to it. So let's work on kind of coloring some of these leaves light first. And then we can come in and add some darker elements. It's not so bad to color, it goes pretty quick. And again, you can make this whatever you want, whatever color you want. So now I'm going to come in with my dark granny apple green. I want to make sure these stems are nice and green down here inside the glass on the darker color. So add some dark spots to the celery. Really fun. Blend it a little bit. Super cute. What do you think? Is it starting to look like what we want it to look like? All right, so now let's take our die And we have a die for all of the elements in that stamp set, plus a little decorative element. So super cute. I'm going to set this here, and then so that we can do two things at once, let's stamp our lime, which is going to be our garnish on our little margarita. And I'm going to make this a lime, but you could make it an orange or a lemon, anything you want. And then I'm going to use lemon lime twist and granny apple green to color my lime. So here's dark granny apple green, and I'm going to come around the outside of this lime. And then I'll color the little inside sections. Cute, cute. Okay, so now let me cut these. So here is our little lime die cut. So I'm gonna bring these over to my mini here. And I don't have a little piece of tape to put over these. So hopefully I cut them well. Okay, here we go. Oh, they're so cute. Look at that. Is that not adorable? I think this is just the cutest little set. All right, so now we're going to take our little olive and we're going to add it to our celery with a little mini Stampin' Dimensional. Now, if you want to, we also have like a little skewer that you could put through the olive if you wanted to. I think I'm just going to keep it simple and do the little olive like this. So cute. And now let's take our little margarita and we're going to put this on with a dimensional as well. So let's put a large dimensional behind that one. But before we put it down, we're going to stamp cute little like mint sprig. So let's get out, this is lemon lime twist. I think that'll be cute behind there. So let's do that. Super cute. Oh, I meant to do that in black. Yeah, well, I guess it just became green. We won't color it since it's green. And then let's put our little lime wedge on top of it. And now for our sentiment, we're going to once again pull out our Secret C, and we have a couple of sentiment choices here. We have, it's your day, let's celebrate, cheers to you, to us. So you can do a lot of different things here. So let's do the let's celebrate underneath the Bloody Mary. And there is that one. Hey, Patty, how are you? I'm glad you're here. Super cute. So that one's done. And then for our little margarita, I like the little cheers. Let's stamp cheers across the bottom here. And then we can cut this. And we can set it in a couple different places on our card. So let's just give this a little trim. I'm trimming it close. I don't want it very big. And then we'll cut a little banner end on this side of it. So trim that so that you have just enough for a little banner end here. Cut my little banner. And then we can set it either right here. That's super cute. We can set it here. Ooh, I kind of like that. Or up here. I kind of like it right there. So let's put a couple dimensionals on here. And add this here. So you can see my mask was the, whoops, was the tiniest bit off there. And actually it works really well. The sentiment works really well here, and it also hides that. So there's our little margarita. So we already have 2 of these done. They're so simple. Now, I've left the inside blank. If you wanted to, you could stamp a sentiment on the inside as well. But I left the inside open to write a little note. You could also add strips of designer series paper in there, but these are really cute. And then last but not least, we have one more. We need to do our little cocktail glass. So let's pull in our 3rd note card, and we're going to do the same thing, except now we're going to use the mask that I created using the tall glass. So let's start by using the glass to create our little shadow that is underneath so it's not floating. I don't like floating images. So I'm just gonna rub some of this color in place along the bottom of my glass, just enough so that it gives you a little tiny shadow. And then we're going to use our secret C and stamp our glass. So making these little stencils is really helpful, and then you can just keep them stored right inside your stamp set so that they're always handy in your stamp set or in your die set. It's up to you. And then while I'm stamping, let's stamp a couple sprigs of lavender coming out of our glass. The secret C is just the best. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp the little skewer on this one, but just a tiny bit of it. So I'm just going to ink the very bottom of it. And this is going to be for our little umbrella, our little drink umbrella. So we can put it here so it doesn't get lost amongst our lavender. And then actually let's stamp the It's Your Day. So that's one of the other ones. So we have cheers, we have let's celebrate. Let's put It's Your Day down below here. How cute is that? Super, super cute. And now we're going to add our color. So we're going to take our template that we created and we're going to set it over the top, and we're going to add color to our little drink. And I just realized I didn't bring a pink ink pad with me, so we're just going to have to use whatever ink is left in my brush. So we're just going to take this in little circular motions. We're going to make a little pink drink. It can be whatever you want it to be. I don't know what drinks are pink. I always drank Shirley Temple's. They were pink. So how cute is that? Our little pink drink. And then you can clean off your little mask with your chamois or just a damp paper towel, and you're ready to go for next time. And now let's color in our little lavender. So let's take our, this is the dark Highland Heather blend, and I'm just going to add some little pops of color here. not precise. And then we have a little tiny bit of greenery towards the bottom. So let's take a little darker. This is my dark olive. Actually, let's use the dark granny apple. I think I would rather dark granny apple. So we can just, little tiny pop of color. Then we are going to use an itty bitty scrap of designer series paper. So you can choose whatever color you want. You've got lots to choose from. These are little scraps, and we're going to stamp an umbrella. This is the one I used on the sample. Maybe we'll mix it up a little bit and I'll stamp it on this one. Super cute. This is adorable paper. You've got lots of color choices. I'm looking to see if I have any little rectangular scraps at the bottom of my bag of paper, because that works really good for that. So now let's take our umbrella and our Secret C ink. You can put these away. These are all just so cute. You can't go wrong at all with this paper because it's just so stinking cute. Ooh, Julie says a pink lady at Mancy's. Is that good, Julie? I've never had that. Yummy. Okay, so here's the amazing Secret C ink. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So let's take our scissors and do a little bit of fussy cutting. All right, let's fussy cut. We're just going to fussy cut right around the stamped image. You could also die cut it. I mean, we have a die. I don't know why I'm fussy cutting this when I have a die I can use. And then let's put a couple of tiny little dimensionals on this. And then we can take this and set it right on this little skewer that we created. And there is our little, oh my gosh, it's so cute. Ooh, so Julie says, ice cream, grenadine, yum. I know, right? I love grenadine. So here's our little note cards. Are they not so stinking cute? Now we're not done. So we're going to take and decorate our envelope flaps. So I'm going to show you how to do one, and then I'm going to show you how I created the belly band. So you're going to take a 2-inch scrap of designer series paper, and you can choose whatever pattern you want. And I like to use Tombow so that I can slide it into place, but if you would rather use Stampin' Seal, you can. And then I set it on the envelope, and I butt it right up against that fold line. Make sure it's on there really good so it doesn't get caught in the mail. And then I just flip it over and trim. So easy. This is such a nice way to make a coordinating envelope, and it gets that paper onto a project. It's so much cuter when you make something with it. No paper hoarding. So that is how we make our envelopes. So now we have our 3 envelopes. You can go ahead and finish covering those. You can choose which drink you want in the front. And now we're going to take a 1-inch by like 8 1/4 inch piece of patterned paper. Put a little bit of adhesive on the end. I scored it at a 1/2 inch just to create a little tab. This is the easy part, just really easy. Okay, put your 3 note cards and your 3 envelopes together, and then you wrap this little strip around your cards and envelopes and pull it tight and stick that tab with the adhesive down. And if you have any little overhang, you can trim it. All right, trim that off. And then last but not least, take your gorgeous gold striped ribbon. This is, again, part of the suite. And we're just going to tie a bow around this. And that is our whole project. So if you are a Creatively Inked subscriber, you're going to receive this as a bonus gift this month, as a bonus project, I should say, as a little gifty from me. So you'll have a little extra in your kit this month. All right. Because, like, who doesn't love adorable things? I do. And the whole kit this month is amazing. You're going to love it. All right, so there's project 1. What do you think? Tell me, which one do you like the most? And here is that little drink with a different color umbrella. But what do you think? Do you like that little project? I think it's so cute, so very cute. All right, so do you like the Bloody Mary, the cocktail, or the margarita? Tell me which one you like the most. I know, right, Julie? So simple, so cute, and you can use whatever colors you have. It's all just so cute, and you could make a million different combinations. All right, so now let's make our second project. So our second project is the bonus project that's going to be featured in the Creatively Inked kit. You're going to receive this as a completed project with your kit this month. So I used Lemon Lolly. So this is a standard card base of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 for the card base. Then I have a 2.5 by 5.5 inch piece of Lemon Lolly, and we are going to emboss this with the beautiful Glass and Gardens embossing folder, and we're going to use this pattern here, which is the beautiful floral. Actually, maybe I should make it with this one so that you can see them both. I love showing you options, so let's do that. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna use the other one. So let's put this in the embossing folder and run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right. So let's come over here and get this. Make sure that I'm not so sure I got the end of my paper, so let's run that through again, because I think I shifted it and didn't get the end. Let's make sure by running that in here just one more time. Okay. Now, there we go. All right, so we have this extra layer here. So we're going to take this and put this right. I want to decide which do I like more. I'm going to put a little piece of, this is a 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch piece of lemon lolly just to create a fun little layer here off the edge. And my paper I didn't have my plate all the way over. So I'm just going to trim this down a little bit instead of having it not, I'm just going to trim it down to 5 1/4 instead of having it not embossed. Okay. But I'm going to make it the same anyway. All right, so it'll go like this. So now I'm going to put this on my card base with Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, Patty says she needs to use her note cards more often. Thanks, I'm glad you like those. They are so cute. So we're going to place this on the card front with dimensionals, just kind of offset to the left. Then we have a piece of basic white that's die cut with the largest stylish shapes circle die. And that's what we're going to stamp to create our focal element. So we don't have a lot of space on here, so I'm not going to worry about, let's see, we have our little mask here. Maybe I do have enough space to, I want to stamp my sentiment over here. So I will take my gray and let's see if I can just add a tiny little shadow under the glass. That's just enough. Oh yeah, that's cute. All right, so now we're going to stamp, and again, we're going to use that magical Secret C. I just love it so much. And we're going to stamp it right in that space. And then let's just make sure we left enough space for the It's Your Day sentiment. And that's going to go, oh, that's perfect. It's Your Day, also in Secret C. Isn't that cute? And then we're going to use this stencil that we made, and we're going to use it to color in our little cocktail. And we're going to make our cocktail Timid Tiger. So Timid Tiger is one of the new in colors. It's a beautiful soft orange. I've been enjoying working with it. And we're just going to color in that glass. If you have washi tape or a little Post-it note, you can help hold your paper so it doesn't shift on you. All right, look how adorable that is. It's such a pretty, pretty color. All right, so now we are going to work on the garnish for our drink. So here we have a little mint sprig and a strawberry. And so I'm going to stamp those two on my paper, and we are going to stamp those in Secret C. Now, the one thing when you stamp with the Secret C and then you color with your Stampin' Blends, you want to make sure you let your ink dry a lot, and then you don't want to over blend because you just don't want your image to get blurry. So I have a couple colors here that I used. So let me grab my Stampin' Blends. So I used Pretty Peacock and Flirty Flamingo to color the strawberry. And then I used Granny Apple Green for the greenery images. So the first thing I did was I gave my strawberry light pink base by coloring it with Flirty Flamingo. And this may not have dried enough yet. Hopefully I don't make it bleed. And I'm going to just let that dry because I don't want it to bleed. So I'm just going to add a little color to the strawberry leaves with my light and my dark Stampin' Blends. And then I'm going to color the mint, and I'm going to do that with the light and then come in with my dark Granny Apple Green. So now let's turn our attention back to the strawberry. So I'm going to come in and color it with my light Poppy Parade. I love the tiniest little bit there. And if you want to shade, great. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just adding a little dark there. And that's all I'm going to do. So now I'm going to cut these. So let's bring in my die cutting machine. So we have our dies here somewhere. So let's see. So we need our little tiny strawberry, and let's make this easy. Let's grab our little mint sprig and our little strawberry. So cute. So, so cute. And if I had tape or a Post-it, it would be even easier. Okay. So we are almost done. So let's put a dimensional on each of these pieces. So we've got one, whoops, one there and one here. So we'll put a strawberry here, the mint sprig here. And then let's bring in the amazing gems and some linen thread. So I'm using the linen thread instead of the ribbon, but the ribbon would be just as cute if you wanted to add that. We're just going to tie a little bow here. And that's going to go on our little mint sprig. So let's cut a glue dot in half. Makes it easier to adhere those tiny little knots. How cute is that? So, so cute. All right, so let's bring in our card front and we're going to adhere that in place. So we're going to want dimensionals on one side of it to keep it even, and then some Stamp and Seal on the other side, because this is already up on a dimensional. So in order to keep it level, all right, and then last but not least, here we are. Let's add some of these amazing little gems. These are called the holographic resin dots, and they are so cool. And there's our project. What do you think? You like that one? So cute, right? And here it is with the floral. So tell me, which pattern do you like better? Do you like the floral pattern, or do you like this pattern, which I'm not even sure what it is. It's just kind of like a geometric and just super cool. And then here is our first project. Thanks, Julie. I'm glad you like this. So if you like these projects, you might want to consider subscribing to Creatively Inked, because we're going to continue to create with Creatively Inked this month using this bundle. And here are sneak peeks of your Creatively Inked. Ooh, Julie likes the glass pattern. Nice. Okay. That is a glass pattern. You're right. I hadn't thought about that. All right. Well, that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed seeing these cute little projects, and I hope you try them out. So enjoy your week. I hope you have something fun to do this weekend, and I will look forward to seeing everyone next week. Have a great week, everyone, and don't forget 2x rewards for 2 days only. Now's a nice time to get some extra rewards when you shop in my online store. There you go. Bye, everyone.